Hi, good afternoon, everyone. How are you all doing? Good. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and it's been fantastic to follow such great speakers. So I'll try and do justice to the time that you've given me. So hi, everyone. I'm Mehak Kasbekar. I head Brut India in India, which is one of the most watched digital publishers in the country. Which means Brut is probably popped up on your Instagram or YouTube feeds, whether you followed us or not. So sorry about that. But I'll make up with telling you this one secret after years of running a very successful social media company. Perfection is overrated. And that is because the world does not reward perfection. It rewards authenticity. And I'll tell you the story on how I stumbled upon this secret. So the year was 2018, around May, and that's when Brut in India began. Brut in India began with one phone, one cell phone, one laptop, a desk, and a dream. I was the second person hired to build Brut from scratch in India. And at that time, we were looking to record and put up content through cell phones. This is about 7.5, 8 years ago. There weren't even tripods for cell phones at that point in time. I remember I had moved from being a big television journalist with a 3-cam setup, a makeup crew, cars when I used to go and interview public figures, politicians, CEOs. And this time I showed up with a cell phone. A lot of the public figures even called us unprofessional. But as you know today, cell phones is what everybody is using to record and to do and basically make it really native to social media, right? When I went to look for a tripod for the cell phone, I went to Nehru Place and searched every store there. I found one in a very dusty corner that somehow I made last for 1 year because there were no manufacturing of tripods at that point in time. And through all of this, when we were building the pages from zero on social media, we were competing with everyone. Large news media organizations that had huge setups, creators who were popping up at that point in time. So we decided to stop chasing perfection and start chasing authenticity. Actually do stories that really matter to the audience. So we spoke about gender, we spoke about climate, we spoke about politics, all with a deeply human touch and also a bit of pop culture so that we could speak to you audiences, most of them in the back, which is Gen Z and now of course Gen Alpha. There was a lot of pressure when we were building Brut, right? Pressure to get the followers, pressure to look cool, look polished, and stay politically correct. And when we stopped chasing perfection, that's when we hit our first 1 million followers. So here's the pressure paradox in that. The more pressure you feel to conform, to perform, to curate, the smaller you become. The moment you let go of wanting to be flawless and start working, you grow. Because pressure, like a lot of others who've told you today, is not the enemy. It's a teacher. It is pushing you to become creative and try and find solutions where the obvious choices and answers don't work. Just when we had found our feet, we finally took an office and all of us went to work in New Delhi. We had a small team and it was 2020, the pandemic hit. And so all of us had to go back to work from home. But here was the great part. We did a work from home when it was not cool, right? Work from home was not a cool term. But we knew how to get our teams together and quickly maneuvered. We were nimble, we were lean. But there was a lot of pressure because remember, platforms at this point in time became search engines. Go-to place for advice. What do I do? What medicine do I take? How many times should I wash my hands? So what did we as Brut do? We decided to double down on credibility. We decided that we weren't scientists, so we decided any information that we were going to put out there has to stand the test of time for at least 6 months. What did this mean? We didn't give any advice, but we gave you information. For example, we said, we didn't tell you, okay, wear a mask or keep a distance, but what we said, if you do want to wear a mask, here are 6 varieties available in the market. And this is what they say they do. That gave us strength, credibility, engagement, and views, right? I have another example for you. This is the Delhi riots in 2020. It was a terrible time for the city and people. Television channels 24/7 were covering it with a slew of reporters. We were a really small team. This was a time when mainstream media's credibility was also hitting a bit of low. We were thinking, how do we cover this massive thing which has happened for our viewers? So we decided this. The next morning, our journalist walked from morning to evening through the affected neighborhood with one cell phone. And he was live through the whole day. All he did is, he was not on camera. None of the Brut journalists were on camera trying to tell you what had happened. But we just wanted to show, what does the neighborhood look like after an aftermath in a riot? And when we were live walking through that, it was about a 4 or 5 hour live. When we were walking through the neighborhood, people came out. They spoke to our journalists. They asked questions. They wanted to tell their story. And that became one of the most watched lives that we have ever done in the history of Brut India. Why did it become widely watched? Not because it was perfect, but because it was real. And that's when it struck me. Pressure, when faced head-on, becomes your creative edge. I will say it again. Pressure, when faced head-on, becomes your creative edge. It pushes you to say things others won't. It pushes you to do things others avoid, and to create what others fear. Now I know a lot of you feel pressure, a similar kind of pressure to get top grades, look a certain way, post the right thing at the right time. It's exhausting. And I have a spoiler alert for you. Adults feel it too. We are just better at hiding it, right? But think about it. Any successful person that you've met never said, the best thing, what I'm proud of, is that I'm flawless. Nobody in the history of mankind ever said that. So here's my advice. When pressure shows up, don't fight it. Don't run from it. Learn from it. Try to understand what is it teaching you. Sometimes it's telling you to slow down. It's happened to me. Sometimes it's reminding you that you care. But a lot of times it's telling you what you truly, truly want to do and care about in life, and to paying attention to that. Because thriving in this age of perfection isn't about being unshaken. It's about being deeply human. If I could leave you with one thought, it's this. Do not aim to be perfect. Aim to be brave. Because when you stop being flawless, that's when you make history. Thank you.